Hello everyone and welcome to Journey with the Kellers. My name is Amanda Keller and today we are back in the Keller kitchen. So today we are going to be making something from a new cookbook called Does This Taste Funny? This has got actually Stephen Colbert and his wife Evie McGee Colbert, okay? Today's first recipe is going to be Patti McGee's cheese biscuits. Sounds really good. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to need for this is one, you are going to need 2 cups of sifted flour, which I have sitting right here. And then what you're going to do first is you are going to take 8 tablespoons of margarine or 1 stick and 8 tablespoons of butter, salted butter or 1 stick. And you're going to put them in either a double boiler or a saucepan. Now, if you're using a double boiler, make sure that the water is just kind of warm. It shouldn't be boiling, okay? If you don't have a double boiler like me and you're just using a saucepan, just melt them on low heat, okay? All right, so what you're gonna do is you are gonna go ahead and melt these until they're all the way done, which is gonna take a few minutes here. So mine are still melting. So I will be right back as soon as they are all melted. Okay, you guys, so once your butter and margarine is all melted, you are going to go ahead and add in, it's a ½ pound of extra sharp cheddar cheese. This is 8 ounces, which is a ½ pound. And let's see, you're going to add it in slowly, stirring until it's well combined with the margarine and butter, okay? So I'm going to add a little bit in, stir it, add a little bit in, and keep stirring it. Okay. And you're gonna still have your heat on low for this if you're using a saucepan, or just make sure your water's not super boiling if you're using a double boiler. So we'll just keep mixing this in. Okay. And it doesn't say it has to be shredded, so if you just have like a block of extra sharp cheddar cheese, wow, you could probably use that too, but I would suggest probably at least cutting it up a little bit so it's not so much, okay? All right, so once you've got that all nice and stirred up, you're gonna go ahead and add in your 2 cups of sifted flour. I'm just gonna keep stirring this a little bit. And then also you're gonna add like a couple of dashes. It's as many dashes as you want. I only want like a 1 dash of cayenne pepper. We're not very big on spiciness, okay? So, but you can put in as many dashes as you want, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and keep basically stirring this until you get a nice cheesy dough, okay? Seeing some flour here, so let's make sure we get it all stirred up. Okay, it's looking pretty good, you guys, looking pretty good. All right, so we got a nice cheesy dough there. Okay, so now you're going to take this off the heat and you're going to set it aside and let it cool until it's cool enough to handle, okay? While it is cooling, you can go ahead and preheat your oven to 325 degrees, right there. And then I will be back in just a minute. I'm going to gather up all of our stuff for the next step, and then we will do that. Okay, so I'll be back in just a minute, you guys. So now that you've got your oven preheating to 325, what you are going to need to do is put 1 rack in your oven on the upper third and 1 rack on the lower third of your oven. And then you're going to go ahead and you are going to take an egg and you're going to split it between the whites and the yolk. You only need the whites, you don't need the yolk. So you can do with that whatever you want. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and get the egg whites out of this. Okay, just put the yolk in there and set it to the side. Okay, so you're just gonna go ahead and take the egg whites and you're going to beat them with a fork just until they're foamy, okay? Shouldn't take too long. I'm getting there already. You're also going to need for this part about 50 pecan halves, okay? There we go. Nice and foamy, I think. Good. Okay, there we go. All right, let's make sure that this is to finger touchable. It is. Okay, so now what you're gonna take is an ungreased baking sheet. Now I did put parchment paper on mine, and that's just because I put parchment paper on everything. It does not, on every time I use baking sheet, I put parchment paper on it. I mean, it does not say to use it in the book. This is just my personal preference, okay? All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some of the dough. Now, also, I forgot to tell you, so if you're letting this cool down and you like maybe aren't going to make them right away, you can refrigerate the dough for several hours. But then before you actually roll it, you need to bring it back up to temperature and by letting it sit out for about 20 minutes before you start using it, okay? So you're gonna roll these into about walnut size balls. And it says that if the dough is too crumbly to roll into balls, just give it a second, that, you know, your hands will warm it up enough to make it so that it stays in there, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and set that on there. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of the walnut halves, you're gonna dip it into your egg whites, and then you're just gonna press it down onto the top of your dough, just like that, okay? You're gonna roll out as many of these as you can get. I have 2 sheet pans, so ready for that. You need to place them about 2 inches apart on the pan, okay? Once you get them all rolled out and get them topped with their pecan, you're gonna bake them until they're puffy and lightly browned, which should take about 15 to 20 minutes at 325, okay? And it says your kitchen should start to smell wonderful from these, okay? Then you're gonna cool the biscuits on the pan for about 5 minutes, then move them to a cooling rack to cool them completely, okay? These can be stored in an airtight container at room temperature for about 4 days, okay? So that's awesome. So I'm gonna continue to roll these out and put their pecans on them, and then I will stick them in the oven at 325 for about 15 to 20 minutes until they're lightly brown and puffy. And then I will let them cool, and then we'll come back and try them and see how they taste. So I'll be back in a little bit. You guys, so our cheese biscuits are all done. Don't they look great? Oh, they look great, and they do smell great. They were right. They smell really good. All right, so let's take a taste of one of these and see how it tastes. It is nice and golden brown on the bottom. You got nice, it's kind of hardening up as it, of course, cools off. Not harden, but, you know, firming up. There we go. So let's take a bite and see how it tastes. It kind of a little bit reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever had it, of kind of like the Red Lobster biscuits, but without, like, I think they have like a lobster seasoning or something on them. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of their cheesy biscuits. I think it's Red Lobster anyways. That's pretty good though. I would say it's maybe a little bit dry, probably because of too much of all the cheese. But not so bad that you can't, like, it's like, oh God, I need a drink. It's not that bad. But it's really good too. So, hey, that sounds good to me. All right, you guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Like and subscribe if you like, or don't if you don't. Everyone have a good day. Enjoy your cooking. Keep your kitchen messy, and we'll see you later. Bye.